So once again, October the 23rd, 2011, Sunday evening, and I wanted to make another comment about some things that I read this week. And it goes back once again to Occupy Wall Street. The New York Times about a week ago had a little gadget that you could click on online and determine where you were in the 99. And then I saw another one this week, and I clicked on it, and it was kind of interesting to find out that I think they said that the average or the first 50% of the population in the United States makes $26,300 a year. That's incredible to me. Incredible. We talked before about how wages have stagnated for many years. Then also I looked at this chart that showed what the average compensation was of a head of a corporation, a CEO, compared to the lowest paid tier in that company for different countries around the world. And most of the OECD, I think there are 21 countries that we consider to be the developed, the top tier countries in the world, that you were at 20, 25, 30, I think 35 times is what the CEO, Japan even was in there, 35 times what the CEO makes compared to the bottom person on the rung of the ladder, until and I think it went up actually to about 45 times until you got to the United States. 375 times. That's ridiculous. And if, as the cable news channels and certainly the networks pretend that they don't understand why the Occupy Wall Street people are there, sure they do. And this is why. Because that 1% or the very few top percent of the people in the United States make such a ridiculous amount of money, more than what the rest of us do. So, and then of course we've got Bank of America laying off 30,000 people and then charging people to use their debit card. And I think, what is it, about 10 days from now, there's a national day to leave your bank and go to a credit union. And I think that's a good idea. What do you suppose would happen in the U.S. if there was a mass exodus from the banks who charge all of these fees, and everyone went with a local credit union or a regional credit union? And so, once again, just a couple of more thoughts about Occupy Wall Street and some of the reasons that we're seeing it. I wonder what's going to happen as it starts to get cold. I think a lot of us wonder that. So this is, these are just a few of my thoughts from, as I said, I don't live inside the Beltway. But I think I'm expressing what a lot of people are thinking about these things. Let's go back to the presidential debates for a moment. Something else that concerns me that I saw a lot of discussion about this week. Mitt Romney has, every time I've heard him speak recently, he always has the military as a bullet point. And I understand he's running as a Republican and he has to play to the base. But I think a lot of the trouble that the U.S. has had to deal with in the last many years are as a result, either direct or indirect, of how often we've been involved in some confrontation off of our shore that doesn't directly affect the common defense, the defense of the United States. Anyone can make the point that indirectly, well, if this guy does this or this country does that, it can affect us. Sure, you can always make that point. I think that some that you'll see on the left and the right would tell you that the use of military should be the last resort. But of course, we see historically now that they don't believe it. And it should be the last resort, the absolute last resort. And only should we send the military somewhere when our national defense is directly affected, not indirectly affected. It was announced this week that we're going to be out of Iraq at the end of December. I think most people, like myself, thank goodness for that. And I forget in the Faith and Freedom Conference last night that I watched, I forget who said it, but they did it succinctly. We won it the first time, we won it the second time. You know, we won it the first time in 4 days, won it the second time in about 23 days. And then the third time we're going to come out of there as a defeat. Succinctly put. And I apologize, I don't remember who it was that said it. I think it was Herman Cain.